Well, I want to say hello. Welcome, guys, to episode 6 on organization and keeping track of your business. I want to introduce my good friend here, one of my best friends, Scotty Hobbs, 14-star Diamond Lifetime coach. He is a 5-time elite coach, father of 5 in Maui, Hawaii. Love seeing him and Gabby and his kids just having some really valuable, great family time. It makes, my heart feel warm and happy for them, and him having be able to have the freedom to do that and go and stay there literally right up till we go to Summit, Scotty. In a month, guys, we're going to be basically at Summit in New Orleans, and we have some amazing things coming. And guys, since that's on my mind, number one, you have to be at Summit. And number two is, if you see Scotty and I, and there's something like, please come up to us. Please say hello. Please introduce yourself. We're not going to know all of you guys. Tell us, maybe some more things you want to hear about the Hey Bro Show, but it's a value to us. Please don't be shy to come up, just come up, say hello to Scotty, say hi. I know we're going to be running around busy with our team, so please stop us dead in our tracks. We'd love to hear from you guys and see you at Summit. So I want to kick it over to my boy, 14-star Diamond, Scotty Hobbs. Hey, brother, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you, David. Thank you for that awesome welcome. And I'm super excited to announce David. David has some amazing topics. Like I said, he delivered me a voice text this morning with his topics. I was in the middle of preparing mine and everything. We're ready to give it to you guys today. First, I wanted to first shout out David for one of his biggest accomplishments, which is being an incredible father. And a shout out to every single one of you guys that's a father this weekend on Father's Day weekend. But David is a multiple consecutive elite coach, one of the top male elite coaches in the entire company of Team Beachbody and 450,000 coaches. So he's created, and what that means, he's created an incredible team of coaches across the U.S. and Canada. He is a Success Club All-Star Legend, which means he hits Success Club every single month. To be a Success Club legend, you have to hit Success Club 24 consecutive months. So he's far surpassed that. And he's a multiple star diamond coach, and he has a mid-6-figure income with Beachbody, which is absolutely incredible and inspiring. He was able to, with his Beachbody business, help his wife retire from teaching, and he is also one of the busiest guys I know, working for the New York State Police Department. As you guys saw, he was dropping his kids off downtown and busting back upstate to be back for the show. So it just shows, I want you guys to recognize those small things, the level of commitment that David puts in to you guys in this Hey Bro Show. So my ask of you guys as I pass it over to David is, what you learned today, take it into action, execute on it, what we've talked about before, because if not, you're wasting your time, and we want you to be here to learn, but not just to learn, but to apply. So David, with that being said, I'm super excited to learn from you, man. I got my pen and paper ready.
Let's do it, guys. So thanks, Scotty. Thanks, brother. So guys, this topic, I think it's a great one because I think it's something that I struggled with early on, or not that I struggled with, I didn't realize I was basically a disaster of not being organized and not keeping track of my business. And my question for you guys right now, and I always say to the team, my team and our team, when we talk to coaches, are you the coach right now that literally has yellow sticky notes all over the computer? You have some stuff on your phone, you have some stuff on your laptop, you have stuff on pieces of paper, piles of stuff all over your desk, and it's scattered all over the place. My challenge to you, if you could say yes to that, and I know that's the vast majority of people, and don't feel like, oh my God, that's me, he's talking to me, I have stuff everywhere. Don't worry about that, but I want you guys to understand that as busy as we are, and as busy as I am, and as busy as Scotty is, in order for you to really treat this like a business, you have to be efficient with your time, and you have to get yourself organized. To the point where I remember a couple years back that I literally stopped. And I'm not telling you to stop inviting and stop doing this, but for me, I stopped reaching out to people, connecting for an entire 4 days just to get my stuff together. Because I will tell you right now that if you're not organized of who you're speaking to, who you need to follow up with, and some other things I'm going to hit on, you are losing business, and you are losing on the ability to reach people and add value to them every single day. It's proof. If I was not organized and had a system, I would not be where I am today. So if you're that sticky note, piece of paper person, stuff all over the place, it doesn't work. Whatever does work for you, if you're a notebook person, electronic person, you need to do something. So that's my first point for you. If that's you guys, I want you guys today to execute today and tomorrow. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. But the next couple days, I want you to get yourself really organized. Now, how do you organize? What do you do? So, guys, some people are notebook, pen, and paper people. Some people are electronic people. You have to use what works for you. I'm an Evernote dude. Like, I use Evernote because it's on my phone, it's on my laptop, it streams wirelessly, and that's how I keep track of something. But it's very similar to a notebook, and that's why what I want to share with you guys is how I break my Evernote down, which is also how you can break your notebook down. So my Evernote, basically the way it works is you have notebooks, kind of like you have a notebook or you have a binder, okay? And within the notebook, you name each notebook a certain title. So I have notebooks of the following things, and I'm going to give you guys what my notebooks are, which you also can have notebooks for. Is I have a notebook for my prospects. Now, guys, I don't name it the prospect notebook. Something I learned from Darren Hardy is I name it families I'm going to help next, because it puts value on when I go into that list of my people. I know, in fact, who I'm speaking to and who the people I'm trying to add value to each and every day. Okay, so that first notebook of families I'm going to help next, within that is you create notes or pages within your binder or pages within your notebook. And I have everybody's name in there, and I keep track of all of our conversations. I date it, and I literally, if I'm on Facebook, guys, I'm copying and pasting that into my Evernote so that when I speak to, say I'm speaking to a Scotty Hobbs, I can go back and read what Scotty and I spoke about, because if you're efficient every day and adding new people every single day, there's no way you're going to be able to keep track of who you're speaking to and what it was. And the connective tissue to this business, guys, is the relationships that you build. And you need to be on top of, if somebody told you they struggle, they have a type 2 diabetic, or they struggle with gluten or whatever it is, because you need to be paying attention to what they're saying. So I keep track of all of my prospects. That's the biggest one. Guys, the other one that I want to really get to you guys is this, is you need to be having stuff saved everywhere. And what I mean by that is I have a notebook for, and I call it business docs. And what I mean by that, guys, is that let me ask you this question. If you find that you have answered the same question more than once to somebody that asked you something, or if you find that you have had to go in the back office to the video library to find the breakthrough video regarding Shakeology more than once, you probably should save those links and save those answers or how to handle objections somewhere on your phone, on your computer, or somewhere that you can easily copy and paste. Now, if you're a pen and paper person, it may be more difficult. For me in Evernote, guys, I have notes for people that give objection on the price of Shakeology, because I believe there's so much value. I wrote a nice couple sentences. I have that once. I have a note in my Evernote for all of the video links, every program you can think of, right? 22-minute hardcore, Body Beast, Quarter Force, T25. I have that link immediately. Copy. I can paste it into a message if somebody wants to see a program. The Introducing Team Beachbody video about the business. The Shakeology videos. And guys, my tip for you is the 2 Shakeology videos that I find have worked best for me to give value is the Breakthrough and the Doctors Don't Lie video. I think those are 2 great videos. A third one that is also good is the Ingredient Hunter as well. Those are my 3, but the Breakthrough and the Doctors Don't Lie are my 2. So I have all the videos there. I have how to get people to order on Shakeology Home Direct. I have my welcome messages to my new coaches. I have every single thing you can think of organized in a way that if somebody asks something that would take 10 minutes to write, I'm doing it in 2 seconds. Because when you have limited time, you need to be organized with everything. So guys, my challenge to you guys is that, to get yourself organized this weekend, to create a notebook. And if you have a binder, have subsections. If you're an electronic guy or a Google Sheet guy, and break it down, right? So you have your prospect notebook, families I'm going to help next. And my next one is my business docs, which I just explained to you guys. I also have a notebook with my coaches' names, people, what they're sharing with me, what's going on with their family, how many kids do they have, just so I can keep track of that, guys. And for me, the reason why Evernote works, which is free, by the way, is because this business you could take with you anywhere. I'm here in New York, Scotty's in Maui, right? You can work literally off your phone. So for me, everything is at the fingertips of my phone. But the key to this, guys, and I actually just heard Gary Vee say it because I was listening to him on the way home from New York City, always trying to find those minutes, is to do. That's the key. You have to take action. Like taking what I'm telling you and still being scattered all over and have a mess in your office and papers everywhere is not working efficiently and it's not treating it like a business. I heard our guest speaker, and this is my last point, I'm going to kick it to Scotty. We had a new diamond speak on our call, Joan Carrozza, this past weekend. And the one nugget that stuck out to me, guys, is she said when she finally started treating this like a business, and she didn't even realize she said this. She said every time she'd get in the car, she'd go to work, she'd throw her notebook with her prospects in the car, and she'd drive on and go to work, and she started sharing her story. And I was like, holy cow, like it stopped me dead in my tracks. Did everybody catch what she said? And I said that to the team. I said, she takes her notebook with her everywhere. Like her list is with her everywhere. She threw it on the front seat of the car. Something that she said in like 3/4 of a second on our team call, to me was like the biggest golden nugget, because I think people think that, I don't have to take it with me, or they don't treat it like a business, or they're not organized. When you're treating this like a business, your business goes with you. And if you're efficient and you're organized, your notebook goes with you. Or for me, it's on my phone. And the last tip, guys, I'm going to have to say is so you don't get behind, and then I'm going to kick it to Scotty, guys, is I am so like, I'm relentlessly OCD with organization, because I have to be, because of working with the state police in this business that's full time. If I have a lot of messages in my inbox, guys, and I answer somebody, I will not go to the next message to answer my next person until I put in what the synopsis of our conversation was in my Evernote. Because if I answer 4 messages right away, I immediately am now 4 people behind. Even to the point is, if I'm out and about and I have a little downtime, I still don't go through my inbox, because I like to be sitting down and be organized and updating my Evernote on my computer so that I'm keeping track of it. So I'm telling you, you need to be doing this on the fly every minute with every person. And at the end of the day, if you answer something twice for somebody, or somebody asks for something and you've done it before, you need to put that somewhere electronically so you can efficiently get it to somebody the next time and make it easy. All right, Scotty, over to you, brother.
Awesome. Thank you, David. I took some notes. There's a lot that I learned right there. I love that part about taking your notebook with you. One thing I want you guys to know is I'm a pen and paper kind of guy. I have 2 notebooks here with me in Maui. But when I don't have my notebook with me, I use just my notes on my iPhone. When I start a new conversation, I meet somebody, I put it in that note. And at the end of the day, I take it from that note and I put it into my notebook. When I'm planning my next day, I go put all those names into my follow-up list on my notebook. So one thing I want you guys to understand from the beginning is it's important that you grow in each of these areas that we're teaching about weekly on the Hey Bro Show. But for me, one of my weaknesses is organization and tracking your business. Hence why David is such a great accountability partner for me, because you want to have somebody that accents you where you're not as good. So that's one thing that I want you guys to understand, is that if you're not that great at organizing and tracking your business, you can still grow a great business. It's important that you learn a little bit. You can't completely ignore it. You've got to get some of it down. But you don't have to become a master at it, because you want to become a master at what your talents and your gifts are. Luckily for me, I'm going to share with you one of my talents and my gifts is just getting on video and sharing what I'm going through, what I'm learning. And so one of the things David said that I'm going to validate and put extra emphasis on is that if you have to teach somebody or share something with somebody more than one time in your journey as a coach, you should put it somewhere. I put it on a YouTube video. That's going to save you time in the future. Goes back to also what we talked about with multiplication factor of doing something now that will multiply your efforts in the future. So one thing I started doing from the very beginning was anytime somebody asked me a question, so this is a little bit how I got organized, is I would make a YouTube video or a blog post answering what is Success Club. I would do it on a blog post, do it on a video. How do I become an Emerald Coach? I'd make a video on it. I would make a blog post on it, okay? So because I do not use Evernote like David, when I'm out, let's say I'm walking, doing my work from my phone, walking, enjoying nature. I love being outdoors. I'm answering and someone says, hey, how do I what does the invite process look like? So David goes to his Evernote, goes to his one on inviting, pulls out the stuff, shares it. I, for example, go to my own YouTube channel. I search invite process on my YouTube channel. I grab the link and I text it back to him. So that's one of the ways I stay organized, is I just document everything that I've ever taught and learned inside of my blog or inside of my YouTube, and that helps me save so much time, because I like getting on the phone with people. I like talking to people. But if you're going to grow and expand a business beyond 5 people, 20 people, 30 people, up into 45,000, 100,000 people, however big you're going to scale your business, they have to be able to see what you're doing, what you're teaching, and duplicate that, okay? So whatever you're doing, whatever process, whether it's Evernote, whether it's using YouTube or whatever it is, make sure that you're documenting so that you can teach somebody else like that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the why behind organization and tracking your business, why it's so important. Peter Drucker has said one of the most important things I think I ever understood about this concept, and it says if you cannot measure it, you cannot improve it. Okay, so it's like trying to improve your golf game without ever keeping score of your golf game. You're never going to improve if you don't know what your score is. So the same thing goes with your batting average in baseball. If you don't track your batting average, you're never going to be able to improve it. And so on the other flip end of that, I want you guys to understand, you're never going to get good at golf. Also, if you don't play with people that are better than you, that challenge you to become better. So as far as organizing and tracking your business, remember, if you can't measure it, you cannot improve it. And one of the second things that I love that he taught is management is doing the right things, but leadership is management is doing things right, and leadership is doing the right things. So as we go into this, I'm going to talk about why it's so important to track your business and have some sort of way to track your business. I'm going to encourage you guys to do what David said. Stop for whether it's a 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, the weekend. Get organized, get a system in place, and then you can come back and start crushing it on Monday from there with the system. Like I have a system. When I wake up, I know exactly what I have to do, back to back to back, how much time each thing's going to take. So, but I'm going to talk to you guys about the importance of that. But more importantly, how are you going to stay committed to that? Like we could go into details about having a strong why and a strong vision so that you can stay committed to it the long term. But I'm going to give you like the science of it real quick, so you can understand the importance of having a checklist and being organized with that checklist. So Simon Sinek talks about this. It's like the 4 chemicals that your body produces so that create like happiness, keep you motivated, keep you fired up about moving forward in your life. Because if you can manage and control and create these chemicals in your system, scientifically induced things inside of your body that are going to keep you going long term, it's important that you understand how it's connected to being organized, because that's how I can stay fired up for 7 years consistently, right? It's Saturday, like I could just be out enjoying life and not doing things. So what fires me up and gets me excited about coming here to give you guys value or to get up and do my workout, which sucked so bad today with Sean Week. My eyes were burning and on fire with sweat. So why did I do that? It's because of these endorphins, okay? Or because of these chemicals. The first one is endorphins. Write these down. Endorphins diminishes the perception of pain. It keeps you going during workouts and gives you what you would call like a runner's high. It's good for business, guys. It's good for late nights, okay? And those 70-plus hour weeks that you're going to work sometimes when you're in a full-time job and you're doing Beachbody as your second business. So it's important that you understand how endorphins work. Number 2 is dopamine. I'm going to highlight this one for this topic today on organization and tracking your business. Dopamine, what that does is it motivates you to hit and achieve incremental goals, okay? It rewards motivated behaviors. It helps you feel good when you check things off a list. Like you're writing notes, put stars by that. It makes you feel good when you check things off of a list. And it's a highly addictive thing, and it's called dopamine. Write that down. Feel good when we check things off a list. Number 3, I'm going to go through them all and then loop back to dopamine. Number 3 is serotonin. What that one does is it's a feeling of significance, pride, and status, okay? It's when you seek recognition from others. It's a sense of relationship inside of a group, which is why your team page, your challenge groups, and everything is so important, because that creates an allegiance and forms that allegiance and bond, okay? That one's a huge one for me. The Hey Bro Show, guys, gives me serotonin. It gives me a feeling of significance, pride, and status when I get recognition, even from my friend David or from any of you guys saying that really helped me. That fuels me and gives me serotonin. So it's important that you understand that in your Beachbody business, because that's going to keep you long term. Number 4 is oxytocin. It creates a feeling of intimacy, a feeling that you'll be protected, a feeling of safety inside of your team. So I want to hit on all 4 of those, but more importantly, hit on that dopamine one, because one of the things that helps me stay organized and tracking my business is having a daily list of 10 things that I do every single day. I'm not going to go through those right now. You guys can check it out later. Just go Scotty Hobbs, 10 things I do daily on YouTube. I walk you through in my office my checklist of 10 things I do every single day. I did that 6 years ago. I do the same thing now. Okay. I do those same things now. Like, I'm still a brand new coach. The way I wake up, I'm a brand new coach with the 4 vital behaviors and the 10 things I do every single day. So why do I have 10 things? Number one, so I don't sit down in the morning and sit there. Too many of you guys sit down in the morning and you're like, okay, or at late at night, I'm gonna work my business. You sit down and you check notifications, you scroll. We talked about that before, and you get lost in the scroll hole, and you don't do an absolute dang thing for your business. Okay, so it's so important that you create a checklist. When you sit down this weekend, like David asked you to do, you sit down and make a checklist. But the important thing about that checklist, remember, check that video on the 10 things I do daily, is when you check that off at the end of the day, guys, that is going to give you what I talked to you guys about called dopamine. It's going to motivate you guys to hit incremental goals and do incremental good behaviors in your business. You're going to feel good when you check that off your list. It's going to be highly addictive. If you're too attached to what other people are doing and what this person's doing, that person is doing, that's not hitting getting that dopamine in your body and your own body of checking off things off your own checklist. So one of the things I want you to do is when you create that checklist, this is how you can know if you're a successful coach or not every day. Number one, you know what your values are, your goals are, and your purpose as a coach is, and then that you do your to-do list. You do your checklist every single day. And if you can look at yourself at the end of the, like, I don't go to sleep or I don't end my day until I'm finished with that checklist. So if you can look at yourself in the mirror of the day and be like, hey, David, and I'll do it for me, hey, Scotty, were you on point with your purpose? Did you go over your goals in your mind again today and visualize yourself achieving it? And did you do the checklist? And if I did those things, guys, and I checked them off my list, I can know that I'm a great coach and I did the work I was supposed to do today. It's going to be highly addictive for me. And like literally, like I'm not just saying like visually check off the list. Like you got your little check box, like you check it off. Like invite 5 people and it's going to feel good. It's going to be an addictive behavior. And one of the things I do when I have a big thing to do, like I got to prepare the topic for the Hey Bro Show. It goes on my list and I prepare it, I take notes and I check it off and it feels good. So realize that that's going to be a powerful thing inside of your business. And then I'm just going to give you in like 1 minute because we're going to end this show for today. Some of the things that I tracked in the very beginning that I still track today that I think were very important for me. Number one, how many new followers I had on my blog, my Facebook page, my like page, and my YouTube channel that were not Beachbody coaches. How many new followers that I had and friends, because that is adding people to my invite funnel, the list of people that I'm able to invite. That's something I control. So that's one of the things that I tracked. Number 2 thing that I tracked was the number of how many phone calls that I did each day. So I'm going to give you guys a piece of advice that's going to blow your mind right now that I wasn't even going to give you guys today. The $1 Million Earners and Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. Each coach's success or income is dependent on their own diligence, effort, and skills. But $1 Million Earners in this type of industry, it'll blow your mind when you hear this. They're only doing 1 new prospect call every single day. 1 a day, new prospect call. Someone they've never talked to, they get on the phone with them, they connect with them, connect with them, share their story, invite them. Guys, that's like 30 people a day, or 30 people a month, 1 a day. That's all they're doing consistently over 5, 6, 7 years. Okay, so write that down. So I track how many phone calls I do a day, how many conversations and messages I have to send, inviting people to get on the phone with me, and how many people I can talk to, and am I tracking that number? Because if I track that number, then I'm going to hit the Success Club, recruit the number of coaches I need to get into my team. So that's one of the things that I'm tracking is how many phone calls I'm doing every single day. Number 2, one of the most powerful ones that I ever did was the growth of my volume. But not only that, but twice a week I would go into the left-hand side of the coach office where you see left volume, team volume, left volume, right volume. I would click on that. I would see who was producing volume. When anybody had over 90 volume points, which is just their own Shakeology, if they had over 90, that meant they're helping somebody. I would reach out to them and encourage them and support them and recognize them for what they're doing in their business. And that's the way that I found leaders inside of my organization that were not my own personally sponsored coaches. I helped develop them and mentor them. One thing I'm going to tell you real quick about that is I found somebody in my team that was doing that early in my first year. Guys, I didn't have my first diamond coach until my 13th month. Okay, so I was like, I had not created my own Diamond Leader personally, but I had a 6-figure income at 14 months because I identified people creating volume in my team. And I got on the phone with one of them, did pretty much a GSR for an hour and a half. She became a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend. She created a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend. She created a Success Club 10 All-Star Legend and a couple others. And that was how we built the 6-figure business in the first year before I ever had a Diamond coach of my own, personally sponsored Diamond coach. And then shortly after, 3, 4, 5 months after, I became a 5-star Diamond and Elite. But that was one of the most important things I did was track the growth of my volume and who was creating volume. The next thing is that I did then and still do today is I look at anybody that has at least one Success Club point on the team. I send them a voice message. I tell them how, and now it's 2 Success Club points, right? I reach out to them. I send them a voice text on Facebook Messenger, and I just tell them how proud I am that they got somebody that trusted in them, that felt empowered by their story and trusted them. And I just I don't challenge them, let's get 2 more and get Success Club. I say, you have an important role to help this person get results with our program. So those are some of the things that I personally track in my business from the beginning and still today. I hope this adds some value to you guys. What that does, guys, when I track the volume like that, is that gives serotonin and oxytocin also to the members of my team, where they feel safe, they feel significant, they feel pride, they feel status, they get recognition from others, which is a 4 vital behavior. And so I wanted to kind of tie that all back in. But that, guys, because I'm not the most organized and in tracking my business, those are the things that I do track. And the reasons I track them, the reason I have a checklist, and the reason I check that off every day. And remember, guys, if you can look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day and say, I did my to-do list, I did the best that I could today, I checked it off, I feel good about that. Tomorrow I'm going to come back and just do one more day. So I love you guys. I hope that helps you guys. And one thing I'm going to remember you guys is our saying, guys, go after it. Let's go hit some goals. You guys have a huge impact and you can make a big difference in the lives of others. And it's time that we, remember, hashtag, it's time that we man up. We'll see you guys next week on the Hey Bro Show. And thanks again, guys.